and welcome to Gotham City Tonight. Welcome back. Happy holidays to everyone. This is going to be not doing an episode next week because I need to rest my poor soul. But I am here with Mr. Fanplastic. Alex is here with us this week. Alex, how is it going?
It's going pretty good, Ryan. As you can see, I'm wearing the scarf that Bill Murray appears to be wearing in the new Ghostbusters movie.
No, you're already ahead of the game in the
cosplay. One of those
cosplay.
red jackets, but I got this green and blue plaid scarf from that picture of him and Paul Rudd.
Which is going. Everyone's. I love seeing all the people with their theories on what's happening, and I'm just like,
I think this is going to be new Ghostbuster gear. I think they're going to he and Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, the original guys are going to have this scarf as part of their. So this is I'm on the ground floor of new Ghostbusters merch.
Yeah, GB fans, if they're watching, I hope you are AJ quick because you're going to need to stock those scarves.
Generic plaid scarves.
Generic plaid scarves.
I don't know. Generic. Yeah, this is one of a kind. This is Peter Venkman's scarf.
That's right. Screen used. And we got it back by popular demand from the Discord and the DMs. Alice is back once again.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for having me back, even though I talked bad about Batman, but I'm glad people wanted me back despite that.
Yeah, that's because people are just here. People just want to hear people talk about comics and toys and movies. That's what it just comes down to. Bottom, end of the day. We got our first super chat. So before that, let's say hi to Matt Bush. Then we'll say hello to the rest of the chat. Little donations for some wall art for me. Okay, it's a little plain, but this is an old farmhouse. Let it be. All right. I deserve it though. I get it. But let's say a quick hello to the chat. We're going to get into some quick plugs as well. We got Dorlaxian is here, and yes, 2024 will be a year. I will not doubt that one whatsoever. Stanley's Toy Channel.
Here first, folks.
Yeah, that's right. Toy Geekosaurus, Brian Carr, Gady's Toys, Stanley Eberhard, Matt Bush is going to get another shout out just because I like the guy. Derek Hoover. He's here. Gotham Stalker, Shondo Gecko, who must be really stoked with that. Also, that Mondo reveal of Mondo Gecko. Had to do it. We've got Steve Shards of Glass. Whew. Shards of Jazz? Shards of Glass. Dude, what did people help me out here?
Glass Jazz from Transformers.
Oh, I get. Okay. Not a Transformers guy. I should be.
But what if that was his last name?
I hope so. I hope that's on his birth certificate.
That's Mr. Shattered Glass Jazz.
That's right. Stephen Lawrence is here. Johnny Cock is here. Be sure to check out his Instagram as well. Some beautiful art. Posted some wonderful Gundams this week. So be sure to check it out. Another amazing artist. Please go check him out as well. Zach Kinsella. Be sure to check out his Instagram as well. Beautiful artwork. Draws a lot of wrestlers and stuff too, which is totally my jam, so I'm totally cool with that. Cougar McGillicuddy is also. We got Justin Mohan and we got Andy Stutes. Justin. I already said hello to Justin. All right, Jose Carlos Rivera Jr. I like that name too. I like saying that. And Christopher Alacron is here. Yes, Mondo showed their big fig energy at DCon. They absolutely did. And I know Christopher was also just at Attack Peter's live feed as well. I think he's still going, carving out a stormtrooper. But yeah, let's take a look at what you two are doing because you two are very busy people. And Alice, I want to start with you because we didn't have a link last week. Now we do.
Yeah.
All right. We've got 4 issues up over at webtoons.com for All Haven Academy. Talk us through it.
This is my comic. It launched last week. Some of you may have already heard the spiel, but I'm going to give it again for any new people who've joined this week. Yeah, I recently launched a comic with Webtoons. They're a really great comic website. If you haven't checked them out in general, you should go. There's some really cool comics. There's like a Batman comic as well on there. And my personal comic is kind of like a fantasy comedy, a little bit of drama aspect. It follows a protagonist who's kind of the tried and true trope of being just a really generic, plain, ordinary person, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm not an ordinary person, actually." But then we make fun and poke fun at all the tropes that come with those generic kind of genres and the tropes that come with those. We make fun of all the like suspended disbelief that you have when children are like fighting and you're like, yeah, that's normal, but is it really? Should that really be normal? Has anyone questioned what these children are doing at this school, teaching them to use their superpowers, a la X-Men? Yeah, it's like a boarding school, kind of in the vein of X-Men. All these talented supernatural kids are there, and also there's like a corrupt government later on that you'll find out about, because we love that.
Yes, we do love. We love politics here on YouTube. We
just a little bit, just a little bit. Keep it spicy.
Yes, no, absolutely. And you're getting like some good high ratings on this too. So everyone, please hang on. I'm going to put this link into the chat so that everyone can go check it out. And let's get this comic book trending on the website, because I believe that's a thing too. So let's make that happen. I think this is awesome. I told Alice, because I was reading this at the airport when I was on my way. Yeah, on my way to my parents' place, and I was like,
"They have it at airports?"
Well, no, I had my iPad with me and stuff, and here I am doing this. I'm doing like trying to like scroll to the side, and I was like, "Am I doing this wrong?" And I scrolled. I was like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
this is so cool."
It's a whole thing. I could go on and on about like the differences between vertical scroll format and like page to page format. Like I took classes for it in uni, but it's really interesting because some people can't switch between the vertical scroll kind of in their brain versus like page to page. And there's like different ways to go about creating art for page to page versus vertical. Yeah. Like bit of a nerd about it.
Which do you prefer as an artist?
I actually prefer a page-to-page format because I think there's more flexibility on what exactly you can do and kind of the impact you get. But I just like print. So I'm kind of biased already in the sense that I like print. I like having it in my hand. I like reading it. And I like the kind of like, you can like open a page and it hits you full impact. But with vertical scroll, you're kind of like slow fed through it.
Yeah, it's all impact.
yeah, exactly. But there are some cool things about vertical that you can't do with page to page. You can do some really cool long panels that you couldn't do in page to page. So, pros and cons to both.
I was thinking that, like, have you ever thought about being crazy ambitious and doing one drawing that just like goes the whole way through the issue? Like, as it would be like the movies that they always try to make look like it's done in one take.
Yeah. I mean, look, I have, and I guess this is a bit of a peek behind the curtain here about, I guess specifically Webtoon because they're a big company, but in general, vertical scroll format. But they were like, nah. They kind of were like, is it worth it though? You need to have an episode out next week. Are you going to be able to do that and also do your episode next week? So, I feel like traditional comics have a bit more focus on creativity that I think currently, at the very least, with big companies like Webtoons, they kind of want you to just have more episodes out, have more story out. Sorry. The next comic, once I've established myself, the next one's just gonna be all art,
Yeah, no, that's so. So when you're doing this, are you like you're everything for this comic? Then you're like the editor.
Well, I get assigned an editor from Webtoons, so we do get help from there, and I personally also have assistants who help me out with lining and coloring and like flat coloring and backgrounds and things like that. But this comic is like 5 years in the making at this point, and I'm the writer, the artist, I guess the editor in a sense, generally across the board. Even though now I get to pay people money to do work for me, which is always really nice.
Yeah, that's the one joke that I always had when we were working together was I would tell people like, you do know in like 5 years, we're all going to be working for Alice. And I would
So be nice to me. No.
so always, yes, right? Give her what she wants.
Figures, merchandise for these characters?
Thinking about it now. I'm thinking about it.
I see something on somebody's shoulder that would make for a really good.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gotta
Oh
have a
yeah.
mascot.
Like
Yeah.
a designer con, that would sell big.
Well, we'll get that rolling. We'll get that rolling.
Yeah,
No, this
yeah.
is great. So everyone, please go check this out. I'll plug it again near the end of the show.
Thank you.
But yes, everyone, please go check it out. Let's get it trending. Let's make Alice a lot of money.
Thanks, guys.
This way we can pitch it to our where we work, and then we can have an animated movie out of this.
Yeah. That's the
Or at least
goal.
start with an animated short. I mean, that's how some of them are starting now, right? Like Hair Love. Hair Love started off as a short.
And
Now
got
it's
an
getting
Oscar for it.
Well, it got an Oscar, and then now it's greenlit as a series, as an animated series.
Oh, really? I don't think I heard about that. That's exciting.
Yeah, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like that. So you're not the only one that's been busy. Alex has been busy as well. I want to plug some of the stuff that you did here. Correct me. This is all stuff I hear secondhand. This is all from Peter. So everything's Peter's fault at the end of the day.
I'll sort it out.
You'll sort it out. Turtles. More turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting in on that Turtles game.
Yeah. There's not
Someone's
enough of
gotta
it.
do it.
Someone has to do it. I agree. But you got to sculpt 2 for this next line of like soft vinyl.
At least 2.
At least 2 for now. For now, we'll see how this goes. You did Mikey. You've got Leonardo. Do you want to tell us about these and because they look small, like because of the way the photos are taken.
Right. Yeah, the photos are misleading. Because I mean, kind of all of the photos I've been seeing have been a little, it's like, the cameras have like a very like kind of like wide angle, vertical, like everything kind of to my. Now I haven't like seen them in person, but I know like what the sculpts should look like.
Right.
So everything is like a little bit like squished, right? But yeah, these guys are like very chunky. Hector, his sort of design theory behind it is like they gotta be like a square, like as wide as they are tall, and they're gonna be like 8 inches tall, and so they're gonna be like a good satisfying size. Like I don't know if you've seen, like they're not like our Juggernaut big, but like the goal is to have these soft vinyl lines be like very satisfying from like a tactile standpoint. And like every time I see somebody like handling one of those Juggernauts, it's just like the soft vinyl Juggernaut is like, oh man, like I can't wait. I can't wait to get that one of those in person.
Yeah, they do look sweet. Because they look nice and chunky, like
super chunky. And not pictured here, but they will have their weapons.
Yeah, that's what Johnny was just asking. Will they have weapon accessories?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Right.
They've all got their like specific bandoliers with if you can kind of, if some of the pictures show them a little bit from behind, and you can see that like Mikey has his little holsters for his nunchucks, and Leo's got the can hold his katanas, and it was just, I mean, Ninja Turtles is near and dear to my heart because it was the very first action figure I ever had. That was like the beginning. I'm a second half of the 80s child, so it's it was my first action figure line, and yeah, just to be able to get to work on the turtles themselves, like it's so much fun.
Right, because you've done other Turtle Universe figures.
I did a Scratch the Cat for Super 7's Ultimates and Gorilla, which is looking pretty cool coming along.
So cool.
But to get to do the turtles, it's like it's definitely
it's a big deal. I think I don't think there's a price for it yet. Shondo Gecko is asking about price. I don't think there's been a price yet. I think Hector was even in the chat answering people's questions during Toy Anxiety yesterday. So I thought that was actually pretty wild. He's just sitting there
Yeah,
Right.
if we didn't reveal it, I'm not gonna say it. But yeah.
Right? They look great. Manta Ray next. Everyone has their favorites that they want.
Oh
which is
yeah,
super exciting.
do you guys have favorite turtles you want to see us do?
Alice, go for it.
Ooh. Mm, I like Donatello.
Cool.
Well, you know that one's got to happen.
Well, yeah, like that. That's why I thought about it. I was like, well, they're obviously gonna do all 4 of the main guys, and then I was like, but
Donatello's my favorite turtle.
yeah, yeah.
So, but any other like characters or like?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles very, very late. Like, it was not a show that was playing when I was a kid, nor was it. We didn't have any what do you call it, paid channels as a kid. So I barely watched cartoons as a kid, which is kind of crazy because now I work in like the nerd industry, and sometimes I'm like, I wish I knew more. I did watch the most recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, the
Yeah.
film one. Yeah,
That's
that
so
was
good.
great.
Was
So-
there a character that stood out?
The Fly.
Cool.
It's nice.
Solid.
Superfly. Yeah, that's
I feel like that's a very unsatisfying answer, but you know,
No.
if that were a figure, I would buy it.
Cool.
no. That is a good choice. I would
And Ryan,
choose.
do you have a
Yeah, I would
favorite?
choose Ace Duck. 100%.
Oh yeah.
I want the duck. the duck who's never been nothing but an action figure, right? Like he's appeared in like some Archie comics, but as a wrestler and not like a fighter pilot. Like I don't know, man. It's Ace
Man,
Duck's got a very weird history,
Yeah.
and I love it because we don't know what he is. But no, these are great. And you had one more big reveal at DCon as well that I do want to give you praise for because I geeked out hard over it last night. Oh, that's not it. That's not it either. I'm going way too far. There she is.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Good old Rogue.
Good old
Oh.
Rogue. You can't beat this. This is dude, the hair on this is outstanding. And you know my rule, Rogue's hair has to be bigger than her ass. That's how she ain't Southern if her hair ain't big.
Yeah, there's like 10
Right?
cans of hairspray in it at the moment.
That's what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's the
she's got to
expression, like,
be
closer
looking
to
like she's
God?
getting dressed and ready to go to Dollywood for the afternoon.
Yeah.
Right? That's
But
that's
she's
how
actually kicking some ass instead.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So yeah, I wanted to give you huge praise on this because this is a gorgeous figure.
Thanks. And I'll
it's
tell you what,
beautiful.
the hair is, it's a complex piece. Like it is made because, I wanted to, I basically like followed like the model sheets, like almost to the strand. And we wanted to keep, because like in the cartoon, like her hair has all those like little like flyaway wisps and stuff. But when you're molding something like that, like those are all like undercuts. Like it's really hard with the production process. So like we had to figure out a way to like cut her hair up into pieces that will be like individually molded and assembled. And so it's like you're definitely getting it's definitely like in this like because it's a premium format, like because it's the price point and the scale that we work in, like it's possible to get like Rogue hair that really looks this accurate, right?
Yeah, like it has because it said what she comes with 5 different heads.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I believe it's 5 because she comes with like a smiling, winking face that's kind of like it's not anime style, but it's like sort of a nod to the like anime.
Marvel versus
And also,
Capcom.
and you also just have to get that kind of like smiling, cheeky Rogue
Like,
expression.
it just made me click. Yeah, you're talking about the anime opening, right? The
Yeah,
Japanese
the
opening.
like Japanese intro from the original cartoon, which I love.
Yes. What was it? They have like it's all in Japanese, and then the last word is like "Howl to the moon." Yeah,
Yeah.
to the moon. Just like what?
You gotta have one line of English. That's the rule with every anime. Yeah.
Yeah. It hits all the tropes of an anime opening, and it is hands down one of my favorite things. And I know you're doing.
I would love to do like anime X-Men like figures or little statues or something at some point, because like I don't know, there's just something about like 90s X-Men with like you know, I mean, Jim Lee, it's a little bit in there, but like Joe Mad, like, and in that intro and everything, like in Marvel versus Capcom or Children of the Atom or whatever, like, you know, it's just like that sort of style, I think lends itself really well to these 90s designs.
Absolutely. And I like, have you ever read the X-Men mangas? Like from
Yeah.
Japan? So I have 3 of the books from Japan, like in the manga style digests. They are so hard to find. I think there's 12 or 16 altogether. And I've been trying to find them my whole life. And I cannot, I check eBay. I have eBay alerts set up. If they ever show up, nothing. It's been
they're super. I was like Googling, I was doing like some deep dive Google search, and I came across like it was like it wasn't like one of the well-known like manga magazines. I don't even know if it was a manga magazine. It may have just been like a Japanese pop culture magazine, and from the 90s, and in it was like this little X-Men parody strip, these very kind of like chibi stylized versions of the X-Men from the cartoon, and like it's awesome, the art's awesome. And then I like lost the link and I cannot find it. I have no idea what to even begin to.
Is it the one where they're like tiny and they're sitting on like a burger and fries?
What's that?
Is it like the one where they're all chibi, but they're also like shrunk, where they're like sitting on like burger and fries? And
no, I love those too. I think those might be a Capcom artist who did those.
I think it was a Capcom.
You know, I'm blanking on her last name, but yeah, I have those like saved. It's not that, but it's similar.
See, those would be great little mini figures as well.
Yeah, oh for sure.
Like little vinyls.
Totally.
Dude, let me pitch it. I'll pitch it. If Hector, tell Hector, let's get Hector to start watching, or I'll pitch this right now. No, this is awesome. So I'm super stoked for you. You like both you're just putting out like awesome stuff. This is like super exciting. Yeah, just awesome. And speaking of exciting, before we get right into our predictions section, this is the guy that I used for our thumbnail. And thank you to Toy Shiz for getting photos of this, because it seems like nobody else did. This is your 1/6 Batman. Yeah, the 1/6 scale Bane from Batman the Animated Series.
Bane.
Bane.
I know that's not what he sounds like in the cartoon.
Right. So this was Tommy. You said Tommy. This was Tommy that sculpted this. For those,
yeah, Tommy Hodges. Shout out. So Tommy loves Bane and Juggernaut and Apocalypse. Like he's a big fan of like the like big tough villainy guys in comics. And he just like totally crushed it, like Bane crushed the Batmobile with this figure.
I will break you, Mr. Wayne. He's this is like again, like this extra torso that you guys keep throwing around on these figures.
I mean, so, and that's something that I've always thought. It's like, because like Bane, you've got the 2 versions where he's like really pumped up, and then when he's more like middle of the road, right? And it's like in an action figure, it's like you'll always just get the model sheet version. You'll never get that like super pumped up Bane. But it's like, man, if we could do that with this figure, like, and again, it's like part of what makes, like, you know, we think of this line because of its, again, its price point, its scale. Like we want these to be like the ultimate celebration of these characters and be able to like take it to places that, you know, you wouldn't normally think you could go. And just like the idea being, if this is the last Bane figure ever made, just like do everything that you would want with a Bane figure. And so it's not going to be articulated, but it's for when he's like, I believe it's the moment where Batman has like cut the like venom pump, or he's like overdosing on venom essentially. And so, you know, it's this incredible moment, and yeah, I mean,
because he's got the head for it too, where the eyes are bulging out, and
where the little lenses pop out.
Yep, it's so good. I like the no mask in there, the crushed Batarang. This is awesome.
Can you zoom in on those heads at all? Is the picture quality good? Because the heads are so good. That one where he's gritting his teeth.
Yes, this one here.
Absolutely like perfection. It is just you know, Tommy just did such a good, it's exactly the screenshot from the show.
I'm super excited for this figure. Like I'm expecting we don't know the prices because we haven't been that far along yet. So before anyone asks, none of us know what the prices are. But I think it'd be safe to assume he's probably going to be one of the more expensive ones. Just taking a look at Sabretooth and stuff like that, and he's probably going to
because he'll be about he'll be about like Sabretooth Omega Red size, you know.
And for people like me who are like noobs to the figure world, what is that kind of price range out of interest?
It's so our stuff is in like the $200 to $250 range. I'm trying to remember what Man-Bat. So we did Man-Bat, who obviously has like the huge, enormous wings.
Yeah.
I think that was $250.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's like in the 1/6 scale, it's like the range tends to be from 200 to 300 these days.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Man-Bat was $230.
What's that?
Man-Bat was $230.
Oh wow. Cool.
Doesn't even seem that bad. Should have been more expensive. No.
I know, it's a deal.
Yeah.
Well, like, what was it? Someone was holding the Man-Bat, like holding Man-Bat. It was like someone was holding their golden retriever. Like that's what it's like.
Dude, Man-Bat is like my feeling seeing Man-Bat in person for the first time. It is like a Warner Brothers store display that you can have for your home. It is, you know, it's a presence. It for sure.
It is awesome. So I'll start off with one of my predictions. I am predicting we are going to get more Mondo Batman animated series because people are very receptive to all of these figures that you guys have been launching, especially with like X-Men Batman animated series. I wasn't really going to show them off, but just like they also had like hang on, I guess I'll put it right back up. I don't know what I was doing. Put it these Spider-Mans as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like these 90s animated Spider-Man. Again, people are very excited about these kind of figures as well, myself included.
Were you a Spider-Man animated fan?
Dude, I was there. If it was like comic book related, because I was reading so many, especially at this time, like every comic felt new to me because it was. So then when they're making animated series like Batman and Spider-Man that are this good and X-Men, it's like you eat it up.
Yeah.
Plus McDonald's gave us really awesome Happy Meal tie-ins with this.
Oh
McDonald's Happy Meals have just gone downhill ever since.
Oh yeah.
These
don't get me started.
are like more on model than what you would buy at Toys R Us.
It's true. It's the only time you got a Mary Jane figure.
Yeah, right.
Right.
With the like yellow shirt and the
pants. Right, because it's right here. He's got because as Spider-Man does, he has to carry a portrait around of his supermodel girlfriend. Just
full size too.
Yeah, like, hey, this is my supermodel girlfriend. So leave me alone, Green Goblin.
Yeah. Wouldn't you do that? I would. If my girlfriend was a supermodel, I'd be like, look.
Well, now it would just be your screensaver on your phone. Like this is
You're right. Right? Technology.
You think that's a real fucking grandchild on your phone?
Yeah, that's there's a digital town hall meeting with McFarlane, I think, happening just as we're doing this. I can't wait to go back and watch his craziness. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm
all about it.
But I
just real quick, that Mary Jane.
Yes.
The what you can see in the photo is sculpted. So I sculpted that portrait just in case, you know, like if we ever, you know, if the line does well, you know, like we've got, you know, Mary Jane started.
You got to do, if it does well, Mary Jane is a must. Right, like she's a must. And I'm also hoping that at some point in these Tom Holland movies, I want Zendaya to wear the same outfit.
Yeah, make it canon.
Make it canon. I think that, to me, that's like I love it. I love these. These are super cool. I think they're you guys must be just freaking stoked because, like I said, the reception on these things online have been nothing but positive.
Thank
you don't
you.
really hear anyone complaining about the price range, which is a thing, as well. Like it's so cool.
I mean,
and then to have the Spider-Man stuff to go with your X-Men, I think it's just a no-brainer.
Well, and the thing is, like, we know we're asking a lot of money, so we want to make these worth it. We want to make these the best versions, the best. I just keep like, I keep coming up with the word like celebration, but like that's what it is. It's like you're getting all of the accessories, all the looks that you might want. It's like when you get this, when these figures arrive and you open it and there's all this stuff to play around with and try out, like we want it to feel like a real moment. One quick thing I do want to say about the Spider-Man those images is that those are still like kind of technically like concept art. So like the way I've been working with like the X-Men stuff and the Spider-Man stuff is I'll just sculpt it, and that will be the concept art. But so like those are like roughly articulated. That's not like the final articulation. So like in my opinion, like the articulation is actually even better on the final. It's like it's better integrated on the final piece. So I'm glad people like those images, but like I feel like the final figures people are going to be even more happy with them.
Yeah, that's super awesome. I'm stoked. I'm just so like it's kind of funny. Like we always feel like we're so oversaturated with like Batman and Spider-Man and Turtles, but yet somehow these companies can see and making them different but cool, but still feel the same, but they're different. Like it really says a lot for what everyone's doing, because it's like, people could go and get a Marvel Legends animated Spider-Man, but it's not the same. Right.
And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, again, speaking as the amateur in all this, but the tech behind making like figurines and figures, especially I follow like Japanese figures more so than I follow Western ones, but even I see in Western ones it gets better. And so even if you do like a similar concept again, it like is different because they can do more. There are like less limitations on like the kind of thing that they can create. And so I feel like 10 years ago, like just in like the last 10 years, the figures have gotten like very noticeably better.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it's one of the things that's made this hobby so exciting. It is that like technological advancement. I think that we saw it with video games for quite a while, where each new system, like the graphics were more amazing and like what they could achieve. And same thing with CG animated movies and special effects and all that. Like it's all like progressing and figures is right there with it. Like especially now, like we have there are techniques of like digital painting and that kind of ensure that like every figure has like more of a consistency. So it's like, like I'm constantly amazed at like our figures where it's like, oh, that is the paint master. Like this is like what you are getting, like Omega Red, like every like that is a carbon copy from like the paint master. And to explain what a paint master is that's the prototype we essentially make. Like when we get like 3D outputs from the factory, we have an artist fully paint it. Like so at DesignerCon, like Tila is a paint master. Actually it was like just finished painting just before the show, so she's a paint master. We send that to the factory and they reproduce it. But Rogue is like the finish is like a more recent sample. That's like what the factory will be able to reproduce, and they look just like the paint masters. Like it's really incredible.
Yeah, that's super. That is so cool.
Yeah, and so interesting.
That was something that like you just didn't have, especially in like mass retail stuff, where it's like you'd see the pretty display items at like Toy Fair and Comic-Con, and then what you got was like, oh, the eyes like on the forehead.
They're always like slightly like what's the opposite of like cross-eyed? Like slightly outwards looking.
Yeah. Wall-eyed.
Like Simpsons.
Yeah. You see that a lot in older figures. Sometimes you're like, oh, the face is just a little wonky.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember, like, to bring it back to Batman, the DC collectibles, Batman the animated series line. I just remember going through the comic book store and just looking through all of them, be like, find the one that's like, where it's like somewhat on there straight, like, or like the lips are like,
Yep. I did the same thing when going through mine as well, like making sure, like, okay, is this Poison Ivy okay? Is this
I bought
Harley
a
okay?
lot of New Adventures Poison Ivies because I'd like see one and be like, it's the best one they have, and then I'd see another one and be like, oh, that's better. Like,
no, I lucked out. I found a really good Ivy. I'm just trying to think. There was another one too where I had to go through a lot, which was New Adventures Joker, because he has like the black eyes with the white dots.
Yeah.
So you had to be careful where those white dots were lining up. Right? Like, it's awesome. Oh, look who decided to join us. Mr. Attack. Attack
Mr.
Peter.
Attack.
Yeah, we were just talking about toys, Peter. That's all we were doing. But I want to get into like this more of the movies, more of the comics, and just more of the cartoons, because next year is going to be a big year for DC. I think it's going to be another big monumental year for X-Men as well, with X-Men 97 starting up. We've got a Superman movie July 11th. For now,
that was the new cast. Are you talking about the one where what's his name fired everyone and then recast all of
correct? This is the James Gunn verse.
Yes.
We're in there.
I'm interested to see how that turns out, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Same here. But I am curious if anyone's got any like big bold predictions of like what they're gonna see. Like, I think, what is it? Aquaman comes out next week. Right? Like, I don't know. I'm predicting that's not going to do that well with people knowing there's a whole new universe about to get relaunched.
Yeah, I think you're not alone in that prediction.
I think even Jason Momoa was predicting it recently.
Well, I think they've like, I don't know. I saw some headline that was like they're predicting it to do worse than the Marvels. But I don't know what that's based on. That's just just insider industry stuff. Go see it if you want to see it.
I love that Wonka made less money than Marvel's, but that was considered a success.
I love that everyone was like, "This is a musical." I was just cackling at the people who were like, "I didn't know this is a musical." I was like, "Every Wonka film has had music in it." What do you mean?
And you're right. They're like, yeah, they all would.
But that puts into perspective too that like Marvel's, which was not successful for Marvel Studios, would be like a big success for like any non-superhero movie.
I guess that's true. That's totally true. Because I'm just trying to think of what else is all coming out next year. I have no idea if there's that animated monster show. Why can't I remember the name? You think I would have looked this up before we started?
Creature Commandos,
because that's supposed to be tied in with all that James Gunn universe stuff as well. And he also made a comment, I remember this a while ago, being like, that's going to be the first thing we get.
Yeah.
So we've got a Superman release date, but we haven't gotten a release date for that. So I'm wondering too if that has moved things around, because he had a very bold announcement at the beginning of almost a year ago. Right, where it was like January last year.
Laid out like a lot of
like,
but then it seems like things have maybe changed a bit. I don't know. Like,
I think the strike might have derailed a lot of things.
I think they just need to get Superman out and like kind of reignite things and focus. Like, be focused on making one movie really work. That's my 2 cents.
That's how I make one good one.
Yeah, me and Ryan have talked about it many times about how they're making too many things at the same time, and they need to just slow down and just do one good one and then move on.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're doing one good one, then you can start to make other stuff.
Yeah.
But like, you gotta get that. You gotta have like your North Star, right? And
right.
It feels like Superman is like the right thing to be the North Star. And also, like, I have like. So I like, James, I like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I like his Suicide Squad movie. He released his like list of like, I don't know if it was like his favorite mainstream comic book artists or if it was just the artists that were like inspiring his Superman movie. But it's like all my favorite art. It's like Frank Quitely's right at the top of the list. Like Tim Sale. Like Tim Sale doesn't get talked about enough in the context of DC, but like
Agreed.
Batman Long Halloween and Superman for All Seasons, like so good.
Catwoman When in Rome, I always feel
Yeah.
is one of Tim Sale's graphic novels that does not get talked about enough.
Yeah. No,
Right?
super fun, like great style. But yeah, and I think Alex Ross was on there, and just like all these greats.
Yeah, I feel like he's reading all the right comics to build this new universe. It comes down to make that one good one. Do what Turtles did, like what Ninja Turtles just did. They just started off with let's make one really good movie.
Yeah,
and we got Mutant Mayhem out of it, and I was like, this is the best Turtles I've ever watched.
Yeah, and then they got their TV show. It's like sometimes you have to like reacclimate people.
Yeah, reintroduce, get everyone invested again by making people care. Like, has everyone here seen Godzilla -1 before we get?
Is that the most recent one?
Yes.
Yes.
No. That's okay. You can just spoil it. I wasn't planning on watching.
Well, there's nothing much to really spoil.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it, but I mean, at the same time, you do realize you're going to see Godzilla.
He rises up out of the water and then ravages the city.
Correct. But this movie in particular had so much heart and such good story, where you were one of the few Godzilla movies where I was invested in the human characters. You're not just there to watch the chaos and destruction, of what you go see a Godzilla movie for. Right? Rubber
one,
suit
that's right into it, where you're like, oh, okay, I'm invested. This is a complicated situation. This is a complicated guy.
Yes, complicated guy who deals with real things, and we're talking about it and how they tie in the real events of World War II. And because it's a period piece, so I'm not sure if you knew that. And for some reason, to me, that also just works better, because sometimes, I don't know, it's just a monster movie that's a period piece, for me, works better.
It's kind of like Titanic for Godzilla. There's like a love story.
Is Godzilla the iceberg? Is he the boat?
Yeah, he's kind of the ice. Yeah,
he's both. He's certainly a boat for bits of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, that's how you reinvigorate a franchise as well, right? It's another good way to because now if they do Godzilla -2, or would it be Godzilla 0? I don't know which way they're going to go.
Yeah, up or down.
But regardless, I was like, hey, if they make another one with these characters and whatever, I'm 100% on board to watch it.
How does it compare to when I was growing up? The Godzilla film, that was my favorite, and no other Godzilla has trumped it since. I can't even remember. It was just called Godzilla. It's Godzilla. What was his name? It's like an old one. It's one of the old ones.
Like Matthew Broderick and big, terrible looking Godzilla.
Yeah, I feel like I should know. The actor, the main dude, is really famous. He's like a reporter. He's like a photographer. He gets sent in to photograph Godzilla. Shoot, I should.
Oh my god,
it was so good. It was.
What year?
1998 Godzilla with Matthew Broderick.
Wait, are you serious?
What? Is this a hot take? I loved it.
This is a hot take. This is one of the hottest takes I've ever heard.
Gosh, last time I was like, Batman kind of sucks. And now this week I'm like, man, 1998 Godzilla, that's my jam.
An iconoclast.
See, this is why people like having you on, because we don't know what we're going to get.
What's wrong with that one? It's great.
So for Godzilla purists, I don't know how to put it.
They don't even call it Godzilla. They
don't even call it
Godzilla, right?
The Japanese, Toho has completely disowned it.
It's Godzilla without the god.
Yeah, they call it just Zilla, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, but it was so good, guys.
that's probably great.
But it had a
It's
Green Day
probably worth a
tie-in song.
revisit.
It can't be that bad.
All right, guys, let's move on. I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on.
It's horrible, you know. Who would
Dance
watch
like
that
no one's
one?
watching.
Yeah.
All right, Alice, we're going to give you some time for redemption. What is there anything that you're looking forward to in the next year that you predict is going to be awesome? Like 98 awesome.
Yeah, like 98 awesome. I did mention this already last time, but I'm super excited for the Joker because it's a musical and I have a soft spot in my heart for musicals, and I'm
Yes.
interested in how they execute it because the first one's not a musical. Seems like it's a really big shift in the genre or maybe the filming style. So
And plus it's also Lady Gaga as
yeah, which
Harley
could be
Quinn.
good, honestly. She's kind of crazy.
I am also excited for that movie for the same reason. It has me more curious. And I also have a soft spot for musicals all
Yeah.
the time. So it's always like I'm always down for a musical. So now getting one that's like off such a weird. No, it's not weird. I wouldn't say the Joker is a weird movie.
It's
But I
different
remember-
from the
Yeah.
other superhero or villain movies, you know. That's why I kind of went to watch it in the first place because I was like, it's almost like biographical.
Right?
Yeah, which I was
Yeah.
like, I like that. It's like a breath of fresh air. Give me something different with the villains, you know.
And have them. Here's the other take that I love about the Joker as well is the again, it's that whole Joker trope of we don't know what the actual origin is. So it has you questioning everything. So when you left the theater, you're like, okay, so what did I watch? And what was real and what wasn't. So that's, to me, they nailed that. And two, they didn't try to make him, like, they didn't try to fully make him an anti-hero.
Mm.
Like, by the time that movie ends, you're like, he's a bad dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's,
And I like that. I'm sick and tired of them being like, he's a bad dude, but he's doing it for his family. You know, he's trying to feed his son and his wife. I'm
look
like,
at
make
you,
a bad
Spider-Man.
just make him a villain, you know, and revel in it. Love it.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. There's the movie's been out for a while now, so if you haven't seen it at this point, this is
There's
all
no
this is your own
vat of
fault.
chemicals.
Yeah,
Just-
no vat of chemicals.
If you're going in expecting that,
It's
you're gonna be disappointed.
yes, and I also this sounds so awful. The part where he's at the hospital entertaining kids and the gun comes out.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's just like, I remember watching it in the theater and everyone just going, oh God, like, because they weren't sure how he was going to react. Like, is this nurse going to die today? And then when his two coworkers come to visit him at his home, and he just murders the one dude in front of his other coworker that he actually liked. And he's just like, oh, you can go. And then oh God, it's so bad, but it's just like it's weird. They did this whole thing of like something awful would happen, but then they would balance some really dark humor in it, which would make you almost uncomfortably laugh. And that's when I was like, man, that's a Joker movie. That's what I would expect from this. Like, you don't want to feel comfortable. It's not fun. Like it's so good, and I'm hoping they keep the same kind of tension in a musical format.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in. I'm like, how are they going to do that?
Right. Plus, I can't wait for the album. Like, I'm waiting for it. I'm going to double check here. I wonder if there is a release date for that. Because I haven't heard anything, and I know it's 2024. So that is, October.
What?
October 4th is the announced release date for Joker Folie à Deux.
That's quite a ways away.
It is quite a ways away. But I know they've been filming it, so who knows? I don't know. Let's see. Did they finish? Yes. Todd Phillips has confirmed the sequel has finished shooting. So maybe it's because of the timing of everything else.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
The strike and all that.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree. Alex,
Mm.
what are you looking forward to? What's your prediction for either a big hit, big bomb, or maybe something that we're not expecting that you think we're going
Man,
to see?
what am I looking forward to? Let's see. Well, obviously X-Men 97. I can't wait for that. I don't know when it's supposed to drop at this point now, but I've been ready to return to the world of X-Men, the animated series, and yeah, the stuff that they've shown, like all the character designs and stuff looks so cool, and it
Mhm.
just has that like classic feel to it. And yeah, I'm really intrigued to see like where they take the story next, like how it feels and all that.
Okay, so here's my question. First, Alice, have you watched the X-Men animated series? Okay, it is on Disney Plus, so
Oh,
you
it is?
have time to
Okay.
catch
Yeah.
up.
I
Yep,
do like
dive
X-Men.
in.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will catch up. So the
It-
next time you come in, I can have a new bad opinion about
Oh, I expect the worst opinion ever. Because all three of us will be back on when X-Men 97 drops.
Okay.
It's supposed to be early 2024. Well, guess what? 2 weeks, it's early 2024. So better
Oh,
hurry up.
True.
But
damn.
here's my curious thing about X-Men 97. Because they said it's going to kind of continue where the last one left off.
Hmm.
That's season 5, right? Season
Right.
5. Yeah. Season 5 is unwatchable.
It's
It is.
probably gonna be Alice's favorite season.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, guys, what do you mean? I love it.
I love the new Jubilee design, and I love
Yeah.
that Rogue got a new voice actress. And
Oh yeah, they've like completely like retconned Jubilee's like bob haircut.
yeah, and Yellow Jacket gone. Like it was like, but the animation's also so bad, and I think they
Ooh.
only did like 12 episodes, maybe less.
Well, because it was supposed to end it with season 4.
Right.
They did not expect to get picked up for a 5th season, and so like that's why like season 4, the ending is like a finale. Like it's pretty much like all
Right.
wrapped up, and I think most of the creative team and writers departed after that. And so it was just sort
I'll
of like
do it.
season 5 was just like people left, like okay, like what can we do? Like let's have fun.
Yeah, I'm with Monsters from Beyond on this one. X-Men Evolution was fun. What if version of X-Men? I still think X-Men Evolution is better than X-Men 92. That's my hot take.
What? Hot take.
That's
It's
my
night
hot
of
take.
hot takes.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it had Kitty Pryde in it, who I love. She was my crush when I was a teenager. So you put Kitty Pryde in something, I will be there for my first fictional character crush.
And I will say it's like I don't know if it was like the effect of the movies, but like during that time, because it was like 2000s, right? Like
Yeah.
the whole school aspect of X-Men like came back into play. Like you know the 90s and the like animated series, like school. It's not a school. Like it's just they live in a mansion. Like no, like Jubilee is not like learning anything.
Yeah.
During the course of that
She
show.
is not ready to get a job in the real world. Like
She's the only student in that school. But you know, it's because it's whatever. It's like the X-Men had evolved beyond that at that point. But then with the 2000 movie, it was sort of like this reset of like, okay, well, like we have to reintroduce this concept of like what X-Men is. Oh, like it's a secret school where you learn, you know, young people learn to use their mutant powers. So like, and like Grant Morrison brought that back in with the comics, and X-Men Evolution was like, yeah, it's high school X-Men style, which was cool.
And I like that it was kind of like this weird boarding school outside of the regular high school. So they were all attending like public high school.
Like
people didn't know they were
principal.
mutants. Right? Yeah. And then they would just go to their like after school where they would learn how to use their powers. So it's not like they were going there getting taught arithmetic. and English. So they would go to public school for that and then go use the danger room after school, like an after school activity.
Yep.
And, and I loved that balance. I thought the animation was great. Everyone, like we got two hot goths in that show, which was Rogue and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like they went it went early 2000 hard.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, two goths, that is about as 2000
well, they were both wearing chokers, I do believe. So that should tell you right there.
But I think
one of
the
them was
best thing-
listening to Tattoo and the other one was listening to Evanescence. Like you know it. Like,
Dude, we put a goth rogue head in with our rogue. She comes
You
with
did.
it 'cause I was
Now
like,
I need the body to go with it, though, Alex. I need the body to go with it.
hey, we got the head, right? It's like,
Yeah.
Because again, it's like, if this is the last rogue figure that ever gets made, and like who knows when the cycle will meet up where like X-Men Evolution is the nostalgic thing and they're getting figures and stuff. It's like this is the time, put it in there, like, so you're welcome, X-Men Evolution fans. This is your chance to get it.
See, this is why we need a new Mondo Wolverine, so we can get that X-Men Evolution.
Yeah, with the hair that Wolverine has never had again, like
never had again.
No
never
mutton
had.
chops. Like, what is that about?
And him and Storm played like the almost like the team, because you had Scott and Jean and like Nightcrawler and everybody who was teenagers at the high school, but then they'd go back to the expansion and there'd be like Wolverine smoking and
he's just someone who never graduated. He just hangs around the other kids.
Yeah, right.
That would have been a better
in the forest.
This dirty Canadian who dropped out from grade 8 and just
with his like jean jacket. Like,
yeah. It's just a lumberjack
on a motorbike. Has a Jeep.
About Steve McQueen movies.
Yeah. Right. And then you got Storm, who's like the most mature person on the roster, right? So it was like this balance. And I love that show. And I love their like, even when they brought in like Juggernaut and like Mr. Sinister, eventually they brought in new students, which were the New Mutants.
Yeah.
And
I didn't watch
even had a storyline at one point where Scott and Jean and everybody got outed as mutants at the high school. And Mystique was pretending to be the principal.
Yeah.
Right? So that was like, God,
that
show
was cool.
was so good. So I'm really hoping again, I'm super excited for X-Men 97. Just because all we've seen so far is the toys. We've never even gotten a trailer for this yet.
Yeah. And there's like, so in the X-Men comics of the 90s get kind of a bad rap because, it's deserved, in some ways deserved. Like it's a lot of like mysterious, endless plot lines that never get resolved, but there's like good stuff in there. So like, if they get, so Executioner is like kind of a cool character to bring in. Onslaught would be amazing. Ooh. I assume they'll probably get to that.
Goblin Queen, we're getting Madeline Pryor.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. Untapped territory. I mean, that's a little like 80s, being brought into the mix. And then Bastion. I really want to see them do Operation Zero Tolerance, because like to me that's like a good, like, if you're taking the X-Men through the 90s, like that was sort of like a good finale of like this. I won't spoil anything in case they do it on the show, but yeah, I want to see Bastion.
Get that, and because I'm waiting for Zero Tolerance to come out in the Marvel Epic collections, and I don't know. I think I was talking to you about this, Alice, but there's you can now, like, Marvel's been doing this now for a few years, and they've been releasing like year-long story arcs in one volume. So they're called like Epic collections. So you can get here's your X-Men from 1991 to 92. And then it'll be like the next volume will be just finishing off 92. So it'll have all your big important stories. And I don't think they've gotten that far yet. But also, if you're into Epic collections, I will say they do have it's like the Steel Book Blu-ray 4K edition of getting a graphic novel. Because not only do you get everything all like printed out beautifully in this nice big volume, they have covers and interviews from Wizard magazine from the 90s.
Oh,
Put
cool.
in the back, or they'll have the pencils from some of the pages, or even Jim Lee put in this concept art for Jubilee and Gambit in one of the volumes, right? Like they put in all these like wonderful extras. So that's my recommended reading. Everyone go to your local comic shop, go get some Marvel Epic collections because they're awesome.
But do you do the Marvel Unlimited app, the digital comics on your iPad at all?
I do not. I know Lexi does. I don't, mostly because of the like. I have to hold it.
I can
like
see that.
It's like if something's a web comic, it's a web comic. It's meant to be read on the web. But like if I can go to the store and get a comic to hold, then it's meant to be held.
Here's my thing. Here's my pitch to you though. I love looking at comic art with the backlit screen because like I always hated like the thing I always hate about comics is like the lighting. Like you're like always like holding it under a lamp if you're reading in bed, or it's like the sun shining that's like somehow there's a shadow over it. Like you don't feel like you see like when the art is backlit on an iPad, it's like you're really seeing it in its purest form in a lot of ways. Not always, but I like that aspect of it. It's like you can read in bed, lights off, just your glowing screen, access to every Marvel comic ever made ever. Like,
yeah, that's dangerous.
I don't know if you get it with when they translate your figures from the screen to a physical thing. But one thing with me, as you were saying, is pet peeve is when I go get things printed on paper, shirts, whatever it is. It doesn't quite translate perfectly onto the physical thing, and you're like tweaking like blues, which I love using, do not print well, and I'm just over there like tweaking the blue each print, and it, doesn't quite get it. So honestly, that's a take I haven't heard before, but I really respect that you said that. I'm like, yeah, no, that makes total sense.
The night of hot takes.
This is great. This is awesome. Well, I'll do my last prediction, then we'll close it down. But just because I am excited about Superman, I'm super excited about Joker too, because again, we just went through that. And just to keep it on X-Men on a DC Comics podcast, I am super excited, leaks and all, for Deadpool 3.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like I am same here. I think he's like Deadpool 2 was the closest I feel like we've gotten to like what a real X-Men movie should feel like.
Yeah.
And then now that we're getting him to probably team up, and clearly he's going to fight him at some point against Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and they're going to put a crescendo.
They're going to get ripped off.
Yeah, right?
Come on, make it happen.
Make it happen. Right? And we get to see Wolverine in the yellow and blues. Like, it's just, I am super excited. Like, at first when they said, like, bringing Hugh Jackman back again, I'm really, I just want to get a new Wolverine. Get me this little 5'6" runt of a actor to come play this character, and let's do it right. And then the moment I saw that first leaked photo of them walking together, I was like, I'm just going to shut the hell up now, because no more complaining from me, because I am super excited. And I like how this is going to close the chapter of Fox's run on X-Men in a way.
Yeah.
And it's, for the ups and downs as that franchise has had with Fox, because let's be honest, not a lot of them are winners. And even when you go back and watch some of the ones you thought were winners, they are not winners anymore. I don't know. To me, I am super excited. And Hugh Jackman's great. And knowing Deadpool and just how things go, because they kind of make fun of, like, there'll be Ryan Reynolds jokes in a Deadpool movie, and they've made Hugh Jackman jokes in there as well, knowing that he's also still Wolverine in that same universe. So keeping on that musical train, I think we're gonna see Wolverine sing.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That would be nice. That would be nice. You know.
That's what I like. Stanley.
That's a top shelf prediction.
That is, yeah. That's a bold prediction.
I'm going with he loses his sleeves at one point. That's my hope. You're going with he goes full musical, as we know Hugh Jackman can do.
I could honestly see it because Ryan Reynolds is also not afraid to do a little song and dance as well.
It's true.
Yeah. Do you think they'll like end up killing the Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds? Like there'll be the fight will like they'll fall into some place where like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are actually like hanging out, and they'll do kind of like a Bill and Ted bogus journey kind of thing where they meet each other, and
that would be fun.
They did. Deadpool did kill Ryan Reynolds in the.
That's true.
It was the after credits Easter egg, whatever.
Yes, he had the time.
Lantern.
Yeah. So honestly, they could do it again.
Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. I mean, I saw something where somebody was like, I think James Gunn was like, he's not going to have a CG costume. Don't worry, Green Lantern's costume will not be CG, but he better have that bowl cut. If there's no bowl haircut, it's not Guy Gardner.
That's Nathan Fillion, right?
Yeah,
it's gonna be playing.
I mean, I can picture. I mean, it probably should be like Bill Burr or somebody like that. But like,
oh my god, that's actually the perfect casting, right?
With the bowl cut,
a
red bowl haircut.
Oh, because he's already ginger. So just like to give him that bowl cut to go with it, and just that snarky attitude that he has.
And you can picture like Batman, the Batman punch with his head moving back.
Oh, you just had me think of something else too that we didn't bring up, was the Arkham Asylum series. Because I think that's getting filmed right now, and that's part of the. I think Matt Reeves is doing it, but I think it's part of the. I actually have no idea what's happening with that. Because I've heard
the Penguin too along those lines. I forgot about that. The Penguin show with Colin Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's that. Hang on. Arkham Asylum, which will spin out of Robert Pattinson's The Batman, but it's something else just came out news-wise where it was like, hey, this is going to be part of the regular canon. So I don't know, like, did things switch up and now they're going to make Pattinson the main Batman of that series? And they could. I mean, everyone else is perfect in that movie, so I mean, why the hell not? But you're right. The Penguin series has got to probably still be filming too, right? I know they stopped for the strike.
I thought they finished, or maybe that was that they resumed.
How many episodes? There's going to be 8 episodes of it, and it is going to air this year as well, but they don't have a date.
This year being 2024.
Oh, sorry. Yes, this year being 2024. Yeah.
I was like, this year? Wow.
You know what? When we're this close to Christmas, it's the year's done.
Christmas magic.
Yeah.
And super quick side tangent. I don't know if any of you guys have watched the new Ghibli film, but I did watch The Boy and the Heron. I watched it last week. And Patterson voices one of the characters. It's a star-studded cast, but Patterson does the heron in the film, and he is amazing. I don't know if you just go watch a clip of it, it's like people are comparing him to like Mark Hamill, who does the Joker, right, in the animated series. He's like full commit. You could not tell that was Robert Pattinson. And I was like, I have so much more respect for him because it was his first voice gig, like voice acting thing. It's like, so if you guys, go Google it, YouTube it. It's actually so impressive.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that movie. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I need to go. I hope it's still playing when I get back to Vancouver, because that's the only chance I'm going to get to go see it. So I'm hoping that it will still be there, because it's going to be a crazy next month for me. That's all I know for sure. I can't say anything else about that. But But no, I think that's it. I think that's all the stuff I wanted to bring up. We've gone over our hour, so good on us.
Solid.
But yeah, let's do one more quick plug here. This is for all of you who are new and just joined and maybe missed the beginning. This is Alice's webcomic. It is called All Haven Academy. Please go check it out. Give it a read. New episodes drop, or new issues drop every Monday. Correct?
Every Monday.
And let's get her trending on the main page of webtoons.com. Let's make it happen. The artwork is beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone, please go check that out. It is amazing. And then yes. And so Alice, I'll let you continue from here. Where can they find you online outside of this webtoons.com? Where else can they find your work?
I do illustration and animation stuff on my Instagram and on my TikTok, all under the same username, Akiocha, Akiocha. Or if you search up Alice Zhao, it will also show up on Google.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's awesome. Everyone watch that tonight with backlit iPad goodness in the dark. That's right. Super high res. Everyone watch.
No lights on, just the glow of the screen.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And lose yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. Alex, where can they find you?
I'm on Instagram at fanplastic4 FOUR. That's where I post all my various sculpting work. If you're interested in seeing the stuff that I do for Mondo, you can check it out there. Or if you can go to mondoshop.com, to Mondo's website, and you can search Alex Brewer in the little search bar, and everything I've worked on for them will come up that way. And that's another way to see it.
Yeah, amazing work from both of you. And of course, you can find me on Toy Anxiety on Tuesday nights, the Toy Anxiety channel. You'll find me back here, not next week, because I'm taking a break. And then you'll find me back the week after, first week of January. Will these two be back to join me again? Maybe. We'll see if I need more assistance again next week. But until then, everyone have a good night, and thank you very much. And we'll see you again soon.